I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Monday. Good to have everybody back here today. All in attendance. We got perfect attendance today. It's a very nice thing. We all get back together and be healthy here.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah.
Did they tell you when they're going to reschedule you for your hip, or you just got to wait?
I was sick up until, pretty much Saturday, and yesterday I was wiped out. If you missed it, I did not have my operation today because last week I had a wicked case of the flu. And honestly, Kevin, I'm pretty sure Virginia gave it to me.
Oh, really?
Remember she came in on that Friday?
I was sick.
All freaked out.
Because I came in and the symptoms hit me at like 6 a.m. when we started the show. And I was like, guys, I don't feel good.
And I started feeling like shit the next day into Super Bowl Sunday. And I look so shady. It's a Monday and it's coming off Super Bowl Sunday and I don't come into work. But, dude, I had a 102 temperature, and then Virginia's right. I got it to break. I thought I was on the mend. I didn't have a temperature for over 24 hours, it seemed like.
It's some kind of slippery ninja flu. You think you shake it, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling better. And then all of a sudden it sneaks up on you.
Wednesday, I had little kid sickness. I haven't been that sick since I was a child. I couldn't get out of bed.
Well, that's
It was a
rough.
beast.
Way worse than COVID. Wasn't even close to COVID. COVID was a fucking walk in the park compared to that.
Yeah, I did all the things. When I felt like I was getting sick on that Friday, I did an IV, I did medicine, I put myself in a sleep coma.
It was one of those sicknesses where if anyone at work asked for anything and they got mad at me, like, fuck, I don't give a shit. Fire me. Okay, you didn't care. You were in that
salty sick.
You were in pain. Like, I had stomach cramps. I was throwing up.
Yeah.
I had the shivers. I had the shivers for a good 3 days, and that's when I finally knew I was getting better. I went to sleep and I woke up and I wasn't covered in sweat, and my head wasn't on fire.
Right.
So I felt like something broke finally at Saturday, Friday-ish.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You do not want this, Ralston.
Yeah, no, that's why I was really a little concerned having to hop on a flight and maybe not get enough sleep and all kinds of germs around, and then heading to a much colder climate in Oklahoma City. It was a 60 to 65 degree difference when I got on the plane in Palm Beach and then landed in Oklahoma City. And even Atlanta. Well, you know how you walk off the plane and you're kind of in that little...
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The jetway or whatever.
The Atlanta air. I'm like, dang, it's cold in Atlanta.
You forget being down here how spoiled we are.
Right. Yeah, it was rough. So, yeah, I was worried about that. Thankfully, I got good sleep while I was in Oklahoma City and didn't mess around with it. Tried to stay out of the cold as much as possible.
It's beautiful that you got that amazing sleep.
Yes. I'm telling you, sleep is everything, Virginia.
Congratulations.
Yeah, very, very pumped on that. So I was good. Yeah, Oklahoma City was a nice little trip. If you want to see just basically a quick synopsis of what we did, you can see the video that is posted up on our Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Just went to 3 basketball games. That was kind of the brunt of it. Saw a little bit of Oklahoma City. Checked out Dallas. The one thing I got to see, and you can see in the video that I want to check out because it was a viral video this year. It's not necessarily a sports bar, but it's equipped for that. It has a bunch of bars in it, and then they use their TVs. It is a floor-to-ceiling TV. In fact, it wraps up around you, and it's 2 levels. They got a lower level, and then they've got a balcony. And so you sit there, it looks like you're on the field of whatever sporting event you're watching. And it's absolutely amazing. I saw that, and somebody had a video where they were showing the University of Michigan, University of Texas game, and you thought you were sitting on the field. It was somebody on the sidelines, and then they panned back, and you could see that you're at this sports bar. I'm like, that's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. And then they have one that's also open in Los Angeles, and I saw some sports guys were out there, and there's only 2 in the country, one in Dallas, one in L.A., and so you can kind of see that. And then when they're not showing sports, they do kind of almost like a planetarium type stuff. where you can go in and see shows like that.
Okay.
Like a ram running around or
So
something.
on your way back from Oklahoma, you stopped in Dallas.
What we did was we were in Oklahoma City. We went to the Heat game on Wednesday, and then we rented a car and drove to Dallas for Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah, and checked out the Heat. They played the following night against the Mavericks there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it was just a real quick in and out, and then we were back to Oklahoma City.
How far was that drive from Oklahoma City to Dallas?
It's about 3 hours.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. And then just out of nowhere, we were driving maybe 90 minutes, almost halfway between Oklahoma City and Dallas, and we drive by this thing called the WinStar Casino. I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like all of Las Vegas wrapped up into one place. And I asked somebody, I'm like, what is that? And they said, yeah, that is the largest casino on planet Earth.
Wow.
You know how they do everything big in Texas?
It's in the middle of nowhere?
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Is it like on an Indian reservation?
I must be. That must
Yeah.
be how they have it. Yeah,
Must
they've
be.
got a lot of reservations in that area. That's one of the big things in Oklahoma City, but it's unbelievable. Yeah, if you go check it out, my son Cannon knew of it. He's like, oh, they make all kinds of TikTok videos here.
Of course he knew about it. It's a mecca of gambling.
Yeah,
It does.
all things gambling.
I'm on the website right now, and it's big, it's grand, it's bright, it's colorful.
Yeah, I
it
saw,
looks like you're gonna lose some money here.
Yeah, like Def Leppard's playing there this week or something like that. Yeah, yeah, so that was kind of crazy.
I wonder what they get paid for that gig. A casino gig, Def Leppard.
Yeah, I don't know, because I've seen, that happens with a lot of bands. In fact, there's almost like you can pick the band and be like, yeah, they're a casino band, because there was another casino just right outside of Oklahoma City. I can't remember the name of it, but 38 Special was playing there.
Okay, that feels on brand.
That is a casino band.
Yeah, it does.
Hold on, loose,
Yeah, like they are in that casino band mode. And so, yeah, that was all pretty impressive. So if you want to see that shortcut, that's what it was. Somebody said, what about the food? Do you have any videos of that? Honestly, I did not get anything special to eat. There wasn't anything that popped out at me. I don't know if they have signature food. They may do barbecue well, possibly. Because, Texas, Kansas City, that whole area, I know they're big on that. We did go to a Buc-ee's, though.
Oh,
They're saying, according to the internet, chicken fried steak is big in Oklahoma. That is there.
Okay, that's the thing.
That's the thing. They said chicken fried steak is the state's #1 food.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that anywhere, and I didn't order that.
he's not really a chicken fried steak kind of guy.
Yeah.
You're not even on the right state website either. So.
Okay. Might be some inaccuracy in that. So, yeah, so I do appreciate all the suggestions that people gave me. I feel like we did everything you could do and can cross Oklahoma City off the list and be like, all right, I know what I'm doing, getting around there. So thank you for all that. A couple of questions here. Jacqueline just wanted to say, Bert, I know you were supposed to get your hip replacement done today, but let you know whenever you do get it rescheduled, I think it's going to be a breeze. My 90-year-old grandmother just had hip replacement surgery over the weekend at JFK Hospital, and she was walking in less than 24 hours with only Advil and Tylenol as her pain reliever.
So many people have told me that the modern day hip replacement is not like 10, 20 years ago. It's not that big of a deal. You're in there and you're back walking and you're back to your normal walk like within 2 weeks.
Funny enough, I was supposed to have the surgery today. I didn't because of the flu last week, but my leg and hip feel great today. It's so bizarre.
Probably because you laid in bed, sick with the flu, and
didn't do much.
You weren't bone on boning it.
I wasn't bone on boning it, raw dogging, as they say in the medical profession.
Okay. Yeah, she feels like $1 million, and all her hip, back, and leg pain is gone.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. People keep asking, what is bringing you down with the hip pain? It's when you try to go to sleep and you lay down.
Oh, really?
You just can't get comfortable, man.
I was talking with a girl about menopause symptoms over the weekend, and she was telling me, oh, yeah, a fun part of my menopause has been this thing called restless leg syndrome, where as soon as you lay down and you try to go to sleep, like your legs just fidget, and they get like these sharp pains in them, and you cannot calm them down.
Oh, my mom had it so bad. My mom always had restless legs. And
F that.
you could hear it from the other room, like, uh-oh, mom's struggling with them demons again.
That sucks.
Yeah. So whenever that might happen, Sounds like it's going to be a hopefully positive experience, life-changing.
Yeah, for me, I just have to figure it all out. But I'll keep you guys in the know.
Yeah, let us know.
That restless leg syndrome, by the way, it gets worse the older you get.
Great.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if there's medicine. I think there might be something for that. I thought they were running something on some bullshit channel about restless legs, but it's a problem where people cannot go to sleep because of it.
Oh, wow.
You can't stop moving your
Yeah.
legs.
I feel like now that I know about restless leg syndrome, like I'm gonna go to lay down and then all of a sudden I'm gonna have it because it's in my head.
And then you also have lice in your bed as well. So you'll start itching your. That's as soon as someone says lice, I start to scratch my head.
Totally. I watched that show Balin Out Loud where she's got all those Tourette's ticks, and then I start doing them. I'm like doing all kinds of weird tick things.
I have weird ticks. I mean, it's something I even have to fake them. I got ticks.
I got ticks. And got an email here from Evan. This is another thing that went down over the weekend. The Taste of Little Italy.
Oh yes, we had so
tradition.
much fun.
It says Jeremy and I, Evan, we had the best time there. So happy to meet Virginia, Panda, and Denny's. Long-time listener.
They were so much fun. I could have hung out with them all day.
Okay. They loved meeting you. So very cool.
Yeah, we met a lot of really cool people. It was packed with KVJ Nationers. I think they turned out for that meatball eating competition. A lot of people came for that.
Look, it's meatball. It's meatball mania. I get
It was in the middle of the day when normally it's just people are just starting to trickle in. But the whole entire area in front of the stage was packed with people that were so pumped.
Port St. Lucie is one of the biggest counties in Florida that love meatballs.
Really?
Meatballs move in the Pizzle, Kevin.
They do. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you know about the meatball consumption numbers in the Pizzle.
How big were these meatballs? Because I have seen meatballs come in different sizes. They can be golf ball size or they can be softball sized.
They were in between a golf ball and a softball. They were
Okay.
a little bit bigger than a golf ball.
So they're kind of like a small baseball, if you will.
Pastillo made them all, and they weighed them to make sure they were all regulation size.
Let me ask you a couple questions. Meatball stuffed with cheese, yay or nay?
Yay.
Meatball stuffed with rice, yay or nay?
I would eat that.
It's good.
I would eat that. I like the rice balls that are stuffed with meat. So like the opposite. It's an Italian thing.
Okay.
They're rice balls, and then they have this meat in the center. Oh, it's so good. But it's fried, Kevin. You wouldn't eat it.
Joseph does those rice balls, and they're good.
Yeah, Joseph's don't play.
Got an email here from Brian talking a little bit about Valentine's Day. And today we've been hearing a lot of people that did it right and people that also did it wrong. You're getting blasted. And it says, for Valentine's, my girlfriend decided to break up with me and not tell me and then ghost me. So it wasn't great.
You know what? She did you a favor. She don't want to be with you, and that's fine. Let her go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna find something better, hotter, and sweeter.
Look at it like she's giving you an opportunity to get
Okay.
back out there and make something happen with somebody that really does treat you right.
How did we do, Kev? I'm trying to make them feel better.
Not awesome, but you know, you put in good effort. I feel like the effort was there.
The effort was there.
Yeah. And Teresa, listen to this. She said, I'd like to call out my daughter's boyfriend for not only getting her roses, but also her mother, me, roses for Valentine's Day. More brownie points for you, son.
Wow.
Golly. Okay.
That guy knows how to play.
Wow. That is a baller move. That's smart.
What'd you get the queen for Valentine's Day?
Just my love and affection.
A trip to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Oklahoma City.
Panda got me a dress, earrings. He got me a beautiful orchid. Got me a card. He nailed it.
He's good like that,
Speaking of nailing it, did anybody get any action?
No, we had a kid with us on Valentine's Day. We were in one room, and my parents did that to me when I was a teenager, and I just said, you know what? I'm never going to do that to my kids.
They porked in the same room as you?
Sure did.
They knew you were in the room?
Yeah.
They thought he was sleeping.
Yeah. Thought I was sleeping. They thought they were being quiet. They were not. I woke up, and I was laying there, and then unfortunately, I was facing their bed, as I open my eyes, be like, what is that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think they're not doing what I think they're doing. And they were doing what I thought they were doing. And then I didn't want to move to let them know that I was awake. And so it was traumatic. Happened twice in my adolescence.
Oh my gosh, it's so traumatic, like, especially because I had a boner.
Right. What do I do with this? Oh,
Your
this is
dad
so
was
weird.
laying it down.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. It just happened.
Yeah. So I decided, I made a vow to myself. I said, you'll not pass down this trauma to your children.
Often we do things differently than our parents do.
Yes.
When you know more, you do better.
That's it. Exactly. It's just one of those things.
What a story.
It's awesome.
And Amanda said, I need to call out, give a little shout out on Saturday. My boyfriend surprised me with Seminole Reef Grill. We live in Fort Pierce, and because I'm always telling him about Virginia, saying how elevated it is, and it's a place you've never been, we decided to give it a shot. And I want to shout out our waitress, Colleen, who was so nice and sweet, definitely took care of us.
Aww.
And laughed at my not-so-funny jokes, got me hooked on their wine, definitely a 10 out of 10. And finally, I want to call out Virginia for always knowing the best spots.
That's awesome. I'm going to be there this Thursday at Seminole Reef Grill. We're doing a little special happy hour, raising money for some kids over at Jupiter High. They are doing a fundraiser for leukemia, lymphoma, and they are bringing the heat. They've got a bunch of amazing prize packages, raffles, silent auctions. So if you're like me and you love getting good deals on silent auctions, come to Seminole Reef Grill this Thursday. You're supporting a wonderful charity, and you get cool stuff.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
Everybody loves deals.
Yes, deals, and combine that with great happy hour pricing, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. Coming up this weekend on Saturday, we are throwing out the first pitch for spring training. This is one of those things. Boy, I love spring in South Florida. I made a pact to myself after getting back from Oklahoma City. I'm done going north during the winter. I don't think I'm ever going to do it again. I really don't. And I need to remind me of this if I ever make plans to head north.
Well, you didn't have much say in it. You had a conference that y'all had to go to.
I know.
So it's really, the conference needs to get it together and not book in a boring-ass city like Oklahoma. I'm calling out your conference.
No, I don't want to throw any shade. Yeah, I will. I did tell Kim because, she's kind of part of it, and they're having that meeting today to talk about it. I was like, you do need to drop. What the fuck are we doing going to Oklahoma City in February?
Thank you.
I mean, that's just absolutely asinine.
I hope y'all got a really good deal. That would be the only incentive. Like, it should be half price to go to Oklahoma in February.
Yeah, I don't know that it was. I mean, no knock on Oklahoma City. Lovely. The people were amazing there. That was all fantastic. So that was good. And, you can kill a day or two in Kansas City or Oklahoma City if you try. But, this weekend it's going to be a lot warmer, a lot nicer. Spring training is going on. We're throwing out the first pitch at Roger Dean Stadium on Saturday.
So I think it's just me and you. I don't think we have the witch with us.
I'm at Turtle Fest.
Oh,
I've been booked on Turtle Fest for months.
Right.
So I'm going to be at Loggerhead Marine Life Center all day for Turtle Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So me and you got to figure something out real sexy like.
Yeah. We need to start working on what we want to do here. So that is the plan. If anybody's got any thoughts or suggestions.
I don't know why I keep on feeling like a hacky sack with the ball situation. Could be or like a soccer thing where I punt it to you, you punt it back, I punt it back to you.
Okay.
And then you throw it.
Yeah,
punt, throw.
Got to keep in mind our physical abilities right now and
the crowd
and our skill level.
You got a bum hip.
The crowd will drown out all pain. Once I hear the first woo,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this hip. What hip?
That's not the crowd. That's vodka. Vodka will drown out all your pain.
Whatever gets you through the night, baby.
That's right. Okay, we'll work on something there. And Denny's had speculated because apparently the Coyotes have moved on from his neighborhood, which is just a little bit south of the ballpark of the Palm Beaches, the other ballpark. And was saying, I don't know, maybe they're up there because they do have some woods close to the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. But Jeff works at the ballpark, and he said no Coyotes here yet.
Okay.
I don't think they would. I go to the ballpark a good bit. That's where My son, we play football there a lot, and he plays his basketball there, and so we're there a good bit. And I don't. Yeah, there's a good bit of people around there. I couldn't see coyotes running that area.
Are you sweating these coyotes?
No, I'm not. In fact, somebody texted in earlier and said, they're kind of becoming a little bit domesticated because they're, in a sense, a lot of times they're in pockets in cities. They're almost just kind of like dogs, and a lot of times when they come up to you, they're just kind of looking to be friendly or see if you got any food or anything.
I would fall in love with a sweetheart coyote. If there was a sweet, kind coyote that wanted to fucking snuggle, I'm done. I have a coyote as a pet.
Coyote?
Coyote, yes. A sweet, lovable coyote? That shit would be amazing.
He's lovable and he's great until one day, Coyote's gonna coyote.
Well, I mean, imagine hugging a coyote and it's putting its fucking snout up in your neck. It's loving you.
I know.
It's adorable.
And one day it just bites your throat.
Well, it kind of jives with that video I'd seen. I thought this has got to be some kind of trick talk. It was a TikTok video. A guy and a wolf comes running up to him and just sits down. The guy starts scratching its, like you would a dog, and the coyote's loving it.
Oh,
and I'm like, okay, is that real or is that thing going to take your hand off?
I need my coyote moment.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I do. I want it. I love me a coyote.
It got me thinking twice. I mean, I don't know. I'd still maybe be a little bit hesitant. It would seem. I've had that too with animals. You ever had an animal? It seems like it's into whatever you're doing. You're scratching. All of a sudden it goes.
Yeah. Have I had that? Yeah.
What the hell just happened? I thought you were jiving with what I was doing.
I thought we were friends.
Right. It
Well,
can turn so fast.
Animal instinct is a thing.
Yes, there's been several animals that I thought we were cool, and then all of a sudden I'm getting fucking kicked in the stomach by a pony.
The coyote or the pony does have the right to change its mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it decides all of a sudden it doesn't want to be there, it just goes back to what it knows, which is, fight you and flee.
How do you know the coyote or the said animal isn't having a bad day? It could be cool 99% of its life, but it's just having a shit day.
Yeah.
You go to hug it, it's like, It
Right.
tries to bite your head off.
Yeah.
Animals can have bad days too. Oh boy, I'm really starting to sound like I'm losing
You
it.
are. Thank you, Dr. Doolittle.
Got an email from Cosimo. He said Kevin was talking about his son's betting. All you have to do is install the app Pickit, Pikkit, on the phone, and you can sync directly to the Hard Rock app, and it tells you the exact amount lost or gained. It even breaks it down by month and week. That's how I monitor my spending. That's a good idea because, I've been trying to do that. Somebody had given me last week, hey, go on the Hard Rock app and it'll show where your balance is and how things are looking. And so I was kind of trying to keep an eye on that because on the one end, I tell my wife and my mother-in-law, I'm like, hey, make sure you're never giving him more than $5 or $10. And that should be like in a week that he gets to do that. And, when it's gone, it's gone. And so I'm trusting and hoping that that's what's going on, but I'm not positive. And so, somebody showed me that you can actually go on there. It'll show you kind of like what your bets are. And I went on there, and the kid I think he's winning big.
Oh, no.
I know. He's doing great. And I was like, okay. And I checked. It was at $1,200.
Does it show you how much you've deposited?
I
know it
really-
shows you the winnings. It's $1,200.
It was kind of just showing when he'd placed a new bet, and it's green or it's a different color if you lose. And I'm scrolling through it. I'm like, all he's doing is winning, and he was up to like $2,400, something like that.
Wow.
And I'm like, he's just crushing it. It seems like he's doing really well with this, and so I don't know. You try to make your points, and it's hard to make a point where they're winning. So I've got to try to get him when he's down. So I'm trying to check it more frequently, and then I see if there's a big loss. Then I can step in with my moral message.
Right. You got to have a big loss before you have a big message.
Right.
Gambling doesn't pay, can it? As he's driving away in his new car. All right, Dad,
It's
the
like,
fuck is up
Dad,
here?
I've been playing for 18 months. I haven't lost once, Dad, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I keep telling him, and then I even, the thing was great because we flew back together yesterday, and the Queen is still in Oklahoma City. She comes back later today, and I had that chance to talk to him, like, hey, I know you got a couple years of high school left, but have you thought about, what you want to do with yourself? I said, it's going to be here pretty quick. In 2.5 years,
That's true.
you are done. And so what?
I'm playing for the Steelers, Dad.
He's like, I love sports and gambling. That's all we got.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm like, that's where we are.
I mean, he can do there's careers in athleticism. There's careers in sports that aren't, requiring him to be a player.
Right, exactly. And so that's why I was thinking, okay, sports management,
Sports medicine.
Sports bookie. Oh, sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah, so I need to kind of figure out what that is. And then, yeah, of course, I can't figure out this. I don't get. See, that's the thing. I don't understand gambling, Virginia. So I'm really
I don't
out
either.
Of it
You
here.
can't look at me. I wish it was clear though and showed you. Okay, how much has he invested to have this 2,400? If he only put like $10 in ever, and he's got 2,400, then they're not going to listen to anything you have to say.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, he just placed a $1,700 bet. And he won, and now he's at $1,785. So that's where it is. And he's betting on ping pong.
He's betting $1,700 on one thing?
That can't be right because the winnings was $1,785. So you only won $85 on that $1,700 gamble. That can't be right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, unfortunately, you have a guy that knows nothing about gambling. And so I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. So.
We don't know anything either, but that sounds wrong.
I always just go with my gut.
Well, I asked him about it, and he was explaining. So I said, okay, so what does it mean this is minus 2,000 odds? And he said, so you wouldn't get a lot back, but I think he's hedging on safe bets.
To kind of not lose his money and kind of keep it going.
Right. So he bet on the odds weren't great. He didn't pick the underdog. He picked the person favored to win. So he's incrementally going up.
He knew he was going to probably clear about $30 if he did that.
Right, exactly. So even though he placed a $1,700 bet, when you bet on the heavy favorites to win, you don't bring a whole lot in. So he's playing it very safe in his bets, but he's clawing up by $15, $20, $30.
You know what that sounds like? A proud father.
I mean, Kevin,
Honestly,
you are kind of trying to sell us
No,
on it.
I really need him to start losing so I can make my point and be like, hey, gambling is, you got to stop doing this. This is just terrible. Let's get away from
The
it.
more it happens, though, you're like, well, he is climbing the ladder, though. He's doing it safely. He's making some good.
He's learning math. He's really good at that because I did hear him talking to his buddy, and his buddy was breaking down the odds. I'm like, gosh, he really knows this stuff really well. So I don't know. I just it's one of those things where anymore to be a good parent, it's almost like you have to know more about what your kid's into than your kid knows, and that's what's tough about parenting.
You're not going to be able to learn more than he's learned because he's got all this free time to do nothing but go over stats and numbers and work it all out. Like,
I know.
There's no way Kevin has that kind of free time.
When I was his age, I was just like that. I knew the stats. If you asked me any baseball player at the time, I could give you the home runs and the batting average. You're so in it. And especially if you are interested in it, you're going to retain that information. He's doing this every single day with numbers. He'll always remember this.
Yeah.
This will be in his memory forever.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm trying to stay up on that. But, yeah, thank you for the Pickett idea. Anything I can get that gives me an advantage. Looking for my right moment to jump in. Lena had sent this. She said, not sure if it'll work, but I've been receiving over 60 calls from the 561 area code, and I live in Naples. I know they're not for me, and I tried the call filter from Verizon with no luck, and I blocked the numbers. I almost feel like it's a full-time job to stop them. So today I Googled it, and I registered my number with the donotcall.gov. We shall see if it works. Does anyone have any other good ideas to make the craziness stop? I think when we talked about that years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, we first talked about the do not call.
Yeah.
I got myself on that, and I still get a few here
I
and
get
there.
a lot. My phone's always ringing, and it says scam likely.
Right, exactly. So I get that. I just don't answer it. It's not a big deal for me.
But does that mean there's a small chance it's not a scam? Scam likely.
Look, if it's anybody who knows me, they'll leave a message. That's the way I look at it. And none of them leave a message. So if you don't have anything to say that you can say in a message, you're not going to get a return call from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Yeah, to me, I just, what I do now is when I do get the few I get, either I ignore and just, I send it right away, or I do block if it's.
My family calls me. I ignore those too.
Oh.
I'm ignoring everything.
Someone calls me like, what the shit is this? You're calling me? We've gotten to a point where cold calling is considered inconsiderate. And back in the day, it wasn't. You'd cold call everybody.
I know. And you used to always go knock on people's doors too. You don't do that anymore.
And I'm kind of half kidding. I think you still can call people out of the blue. But there are some people that are kind of turned off by that.
If I call somebody out of the blue, they don't answer. You got to text them first and say, hey, when would be a good time for us to talk?
I'll tell you who answers the telephone. Old people. I'm not calling,
Kevin Rolston.
I'm not calling my dad old, but every time I call, it may take 7 rings, but he still gets there.
Okay. All right. Makes it happen. Engineer Keith kind of breaking down that asteroid that they say has a 2% chance of impacting Earth in 2032. He said, just to let you know about the devastation that could happen from this one, I did the deep dive so you don't have to. It has the energy of 1,000 Hiroshima Nagasaki bombs, but similar to nuclear weapons we've already detonated in tests. Okay, well, that sounds like a lot, because just one of those Hiroshima Nagasaki bombs was terrible. So imagine 1,000 of those.
Eee.
The asteroid would not cause global catastrophe, but could still cause significant regional destruction. NASA estimates an impact zone near the equator stretching from South America to India. Earth's surface is mostly empty. Only about 3% of it is cities, reducing the likelihood of major casualties. And the chance of hitting a specific city is around 0.01%, making catastrophic urban impact extremely unlikely. So if it hit the ocean, it would not generate a world-ending tsunami. We've tested asteroid deflection technology, DART mission, proving we can alter trajectories if needed. Yeah, I thought that was kind of going on, so I'm not freaking. I mean, I think the odds are low and everything Engineer Keith said, I'm good. I'm going to keep living.
It would be so fun if we found an engineer, Keith. He wasn't even an engineer, and his name wasn't even Keith.
He's been scamming us all this time. He's gospel.
We've met him so many times, and I just now, Engineer Keith said it, so it's got to be real. But imagine if he wasn't
his
even...
first name's Engineer, his last name's Keith.
He's neither his engineer or his name's not Keith.
Well, that'd be a mind bomb, wouldn't it?
That would be an M. Night Shyamalan moment.
Yeah, it would. Carlos is wanting to know, do you know what streaming app or network Kevin used to watch the second part of season 5 of Yellowstone? I tried looking for it, but can't find it anywhere. Kind of getting annoyed. Yeah, because I don't have Paramount Plus. What I did is they will show those episodes then on, I get a Paramount TV station, but I guess I can't get the Paramount shows on demand to watch whenever I want.
It's weird.
It is weird. Again, I'm so confused by the streaming stuff. So what I done is I recorded the show Yellowstone, and then whenever it was airing originally, I had it on my DVR. And so that's how I was able to watch and had it there. So, but it's because I had gone in and I had my DVR record any new episodes of Yellowstone that I had not seen, then that's why I got it.
I always forget about that feature, the old DVR.
I
That
know.
used to be such a big thing, and now it's kind of fallen away a bit because everything's pretty much on demand for the most part.
Right. A lot of people do. And I had recorded Lioness, and I had that on demand. And then the weirdest thing, so I watched the show Lioness, which is by the same creator as Yellowstone. Got through it, watched the first season. I thought it was pretty solid. And I started watching the second, and I realized for whatever reason, it wouldn't let me watch episode 3. It said you had to be at your home.
What?
On your home internet to watch that one episode. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to either skip episode 3 or I'm only going to watch the first 2. And so when I got to the second season, I'm like, I can't watch this right now.
That's a mess.
They did that with Sons of Anarchy and Breaking Bad. I was on the regular demand thing. They had the entire series, but for some reason, 2 of the seasons were missing an episode apiece.
Yeah.
And it bothered me so bad because I'm one of those
Right.
people, if I'm going to go in, I want to watch every piece of content that show provides so I can understand what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And it bothered me. I had to buy it off of some other site.
Well, it's already confusing enough. He can't find, he's trying to figure out where it is. And then when you do figure out where it is, then they mysteriously hold one episode back.
Now I've got this random Sons of Anarchy episode in my download. It's like,
It's like when you would buy a puzzle and some asshole would steal like 3 pieces.
It's
of
not
the puzzle.
fair.
Yeah.
It's really like playing games with people.
See, 3, I can accept. 1, what the shit? Three pieces of a puzzle. All right, they're gone.
Yeah.
One piece,
Right,
someone's
one.
fucking with you.
Throws you off, yeah. It does feel that way. So, yeah, that was how I did that. And then I got on a show, I think it was on Netflix, and it has Carrie Russell in it. She was in that show, The Americans. It
Okay,
was solid.
yeah.
She was Felicity way back in the day.
Of course.
It was just okay. In fact, I'm not sure that I kind of was watching it because I'm on a plane and I really didn't have anything else downloaded, but I'm not sure it was really gripping me and I was loving it.
Okay.
It was just all right.
Yeah, I watched a lot of just okay shit while I was sick. I'm going,
I know. When you're sick, though, you just need to do something.
you're right, and I did. I watched a lot of shit that I would never normally normally watch, and yeah, there was a lot of shit out there. The Penguin, though, I do suggest the Penguin for you, Kevin, not for you, Virginia.
Well, I love that it is on my list. I put together a list. Stop messing around on what I'm watching, and it's in my top 5. I have Jack Reacher, which drops this week, a new season of that.
What would be the porn name for that?
For Jack Reacher?
Yeah.
Jack, reach around.
Boom, got it, nailed it.
I got you. Okay.
That's a fun game. Like Yellowstone would be
Yellowbone.
boom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you make a show dirty.
Or a show or a movie, yeah. You try to anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Reacher's dropping on Prime Video, I think, this Thursday. You also have 0 Day with Robert De Niro dropping on Netflix on the same day. That sounds kind of promising.
De Niro's movies are kind of shitty these days. Nothing,
Think so?
No offense to De Niro, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, he makes a lot of crappy movies.
Okay.
Well, old De Niro, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Older,
the older
yes.
dude. Okay.
I feel like he lost money or something. He
has to work.
He has to keep it going. Yes.
Does he have a young, hot wife? That could be it.
Probably.
Yeah, they're very expensive. You got to keep working if you got one of those.
Yeah, you got a baby too, I think.
Oh my gosh, a new baby?
Yeah, a relatively new baby. I think
Yeah.
it's last year. It's less than 2 years old, I think.
You're
I know
right.
Pacino had a new baby, and he had to go back to work.
It's gotta suck.
Right. Suits LA is dropping on Sunday on NBC. That is the new season of that. And 1923, which is a Yellowstone spinoff, that is going to be dropping Paramount Plus on Sunday as well. And then I saw White Lotus drop.
Yes, I saw that too. Everybody's talking about it.
All right, what would be the porn name for that? White Lotus. White Load.
Oh, White Load.
Us.
White Load.
Yeah,
Yeah, White Lotus.
White
White
Load
Load
Us.
would be the porn name.
White Load Us.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming out. But somebody said, you know what, with the White Lotus, I'm kind of tired of these shows where all you do is you take the name and then each season is a brand new cast.
They don't like that.
They don't like that. They're like, okay, well, what else are we doing? Because you got to kind of learn the new characters and all that. And all the White Lotus is, it's just kind of a resort. And
Is
so it's
Jennifer
whatever-
Coolidge not in it anymore?
No.
Oh.
She's not
That's
in it.
why I was
Yeah.
excited to go watch it.
Right, and that's why you might want to watch the first two, because she was the only character they brought from the first season to the second. So you had that continuity. And on this one, she had a friend that was at the resort that is in this one, and so they have brought one extra character, but she wasn't Jennifer Coolidge caliber.
Gotcha.
She was okay, but you really liked Jennifer Coolidge's character.
I don't hate that though. If the hotel setting is the same and they're just new people with it's different.
Right. Somebody had just commented today that they didn't like that.
I just didn't like that series. I think I got this episode 5 and it wasn't hitting me.
Yeah.
It was kind of slow for me.
Well, sometimes you're watching a show and you're like, do I like this? You can't even, you're kind of asking yourself, you're
What am
like,
I doing?
And then
why,
you're watching
why am I
it,
here?
And then you're going, is it good? Am I the asshole? you wonder.
Yeah.
Because there's shit that everyone likes, and I watch it and go, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And then I go, maybe I'm the asshole.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, I got Jack Reacher next that I'll probably watch this coming weekend because that's dropping. And then Severance. I'm hearing a lot of people are saying that is pretty solid. It's been good with this new season. So, probably going to get on that. And then I got to figure out, because the other ones I don't think I have. It's Landman. I want to watch that. That's the Billy Bob Thornton one. It's also the Yellowstone guy, but I don't have Paramount Plus.
Have you guys heard of a show called Hacks?
Yes.
Yes.
I've watched a good bit of that.
Is that good?
It's decent. Yeah, I like it. You know, I would put it at a B category. I've enjoyed it, and I still need to finish. I got some episodes that I haven't seen.
Would I like that?
It's kind of interesting because I was talking to our old intern Joey, and he had lived in Vegas, and he's like friends with Carrot Top and all that. And so we were kind of talking about Vegas, and he was just saying, you know, what's like he was a bartender, and so Carrot Top would always hang out in his bar. And so he would hang out with Carrot Top a good bit, and Carrot Top would, you know, kind of introduce some new jokes with him and was talking about who he was. So that's kind of an interesting gig where you live in Vegas and you have that residency, and so that's just your job. And that's kind of what she was. She was an older comedian, and then she started to kind of age out of it. And that's how Hacks starts.
Okay.
Is that she's getting, and now the casino's like, yeah, you're not drawing like you used to. And so
That seems good.
she then gets a younger girl who's a writer, and it's their dynamic. And it was decent. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's won awards, and yeah, I would recommend that.
You like it too, V?
I've heard about it. I haven't watched it yet. I do want to watch it though. It's on my list.
So it's one of those ones I'm gonna get back to. And then high on my list, and you just saw it, was The Penguin on Max. And you recommended that.
I do. I think I'm anxious to see how you think it plays out. Obviously there's a few holes in the plot a little bit, but
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah.
We're not talking about a penguin documentary about the birds, are we?
no, we're talking about the character Penguin from Batman.
I just got that.
You thought it was about
I thought
penguins?
you guys were talking about some penguin
serious?
documentary
Oh, my
where it was like following the bird.
So when you were talking about Colin Farrell that was dressing up as a penguin, you thought he was getting in an actual penguin suit and
I
waddling
thought
around?
he narrated it, and it was like penguins in the wild, and maybe he was the narrator.
And he was in a fat suit? Or were you just not listening to my review earlier? I think that's what it was.
Okay, she
I
tuned
heard
out.
you say penguins, and I thought you were talking about a stupid penguin documentary.
She tuned out.
I was
and
like,
then,
ugh.
That's exactly
Who
what
wants to
happened.
watch a
Yeah.
penguin documentary?
I said penguin, and she's like,
I'm gonna see what type over here. I don't watch for birds.
She wasn't listening.
You would also hate this as well.
What would I hate more, a penguin documentary or a Penguin the superhero movie?
Honestly, a penguin documentary sounds amazing. I'm quite fascinated by penguins.
I think they do pretty well, actually.
They're adorable.
I could see you watching both of those. Not me.
I want to hug a penguin and a coyote, apparently.
Now, this is something that might get your attention. Apparently, Steven Spielberg and Chris Columbus are producing a sequel to The Goonies.
Man, I have heard this so many different times. They have jerked us off until there's nothing to jerk. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, and you could go with that. Now, the details remain unknown. Apparently, both are committed to the project, and it came after Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, Jeff Cohen, Corey Feldman, and Ke Huy Quan reunited for his Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony. I think that happened like a week or so ago. And so that's really kind of amped it up. But they say it's going to happen.
I am such a fan of that Josh Brolin. I love him.
He's good. Yeah, he is. He's been
He
in
is
some solid
spicy.
stuff. Yeah.
In his real life, he is spicy and smart and just very fun.
So is Corey Feldman. Just kidding. No. The Goonies 2 can't happen. Corey Feldman's ego could not handle that shit. And
They should do it, but then not invite him.
that's happened before on shit where he was supposed to be involved. Not for Goonies, but other projects.
Check your ego.
Yeah.
If he could check his ego, I'm sure they'd love to have him.
Some people get on me for dissing Corey Feldman. I've done the work on Corey Feldman. A deep dive. I could do a research paper on him. You got to really know Corey Feldman to talk shit. And I know enough about Feldman to talk shit.
You know a lot. You've been in the same room as him multiple times.
She's not lying. That gives you some credibility.
There was some Hollywood shit talking going on. Do you know who Sarah Hyland is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know
Modern Family?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you have an opinion of her, but yeah, she is the younger girl that was on there.
I don't know if she was is she the younger?
I don't think she's younger anymore.
She was born in 1990.
There's a there's a few of them.
She's
on there.
34. So anyway, it was Jeff Dye was talking about her behavior on the set of The Wedding Year and called her a tyrant. He said that he recounted incidents where she acted demanding and rude, including complaining about extras and making negative remarks towards him. What I'd heard was apparently she went to the director and complained because some of the extras were eating off of the craft service table. And she's like, this should be for the stars.
Oh my, that's not a good look.
No way did she say that. How can you be that big of a dick?
Yeah, and so it was amazing how much he went in, because it wasn't like he was like, well, maybe she was a He was basically he went all in on her.
And he's not he's a comedian first, and I think he's morphing into some acting roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his opinion was very strong of her about, she was just awful, is what he had said.
She's not the young one from I think she's the oldest one.
Oh, she was. Okay.
But the other one too gets herself in a lot of trouble with some things she's said or done before.
Okay.
And when I say trouble, can you believe what this star said?
Right.
That kind of trouble.
Yeah. So I don't know that it's going to blow up like the other stuff that we have seen going on.
This is like a low budget. What's the Justin
Ryan
Medalli or whatever?
Yeah. Baldoni.
Yeah. And did you see Ryan Reynolds, his little play to try to kind of get back in good graces? He and Blake Lively were part of the SNL 50 anniversary special last night, and he was asked how he's doing. He said, "Great. Why? What have you heard?" So he's trying to do that, a little
Making fun of it.
Yeah.
That's like when Pee Wee Herman got caught.
Any good jokes? Yeah.
Jacking off, and then he did the VMAs. I don't know if he hosted it, but he just came out there and did a little segment like, "Hearing any good jokes lately?"
Yeah. Which is a good move.
Very good move.
And Maya Hawke, that's Ethan Hawke's daughter, I presume. She is an actress.
Maya Hawke.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've heard her name. I can't remember what she's in, but I think his daughter was into acting. It's spelled the exact same way. Apparently, she is kind of outing what is going on in the industry right now, that a lot of producers are now hiring actors and actresses based on the amount of social media followers they have.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact, she was advised to keep her Instagram account even though she hated it. He said, look, if you want to get cast, it could be, not that it would be the end-all be-all, but if they're looking between two people that are about the same, they'd be like, so what are the Instagram numbers on these two? And then if one had a more of a massive following than the other, then they'd be like, all right, go with her, because if she promotes the movie, we'll get a better turnout. Which, in a sense, it makes sense, doesn't it?
But what it does is it doesn't mean you're being hired for your talent. You're being hired for your social media. And that's where, if you're an actor and you really love that craft, you're going to be butthurt because of that.
I mean, she is set to Nepo baby it up. She's the daughter of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's some Nepo action there.
Yeah, somebody said she's on Stranger Things. Well, that's really where we are today. I mean, the conversation I always hear is that there's more content out there than what you could ever watch. And so now it's all about, you create the content, make it as good as you can, but it's really about the promotion. And you want shows like us talking about a show, about how good it is. That's what gets people to watch it. And so, yeah, the promotion part of it is really arguably just as important as the content itself.
I think it is, without a doubt, because you could have a great whatever, if it's not getting out there in front of eyeballs, and no one's going to know how great it is.
Right. So you're going to probably start looking at casts now, and you might be able to look and be like, yeah, they're all big on social media. Go figure.
But again, that will fire people up. And if the quality really starts to go down, people won't stand for that shit.
I think, again, to me, it would only be a tiebreaker. That's how I would use it. If you had, be like, you know what, they're about the same. We all feel the same about them, but what's the social media numbers? And it would have to be more than just like a couple thousand. It would have to be, if one had 28 million and the other had 200,000, I'm like, yeah, let's go with the 28 mil.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that Black Mirror episode where everything in society, you can see everyone's Q score, how many followers they have, what the rating is, and there's a scene where
is it always going up and down?
Yeah, you can constantly see it, I believe.
Like a ticker?
Yeah, I think you can just, access it to where if I
Right.
could see Kevin. And
I think I did see that episode.
it's such a good one
and,
because
and
it
the
really
person's
is.
obsessed and they're freaking out about it, right?
She does, and,
Yeah.
and she goes over the top and freaks herself out and becomes obsessed with trying to fit in with everybody. And it really is modern day high school.
It is.
It's modern day high school.
That's what social media is a lot of times too.
I don't think it's great for the spirit.
Yeah. So.
But what the fuck do I know?
And they say despite poor reviews, that Captain America Brave New World did really well. Over $100 million it made on the President's Day weekend. $88.4 million in its first 3 days. One of the top domestic President's Day openings and highest opening of 2025 so far this year. I mean, we're only in February, but still. But you know what? I think it's just living off of the Marvel name.
Yeah, I think anything you do with superheroes is going to hit.
And you know, the other thing that spoke to me when I was in Oklahoma City and that area, how many theaters and how massive their theaters are. And I'm like, you know what, makes sense. Because, look, I was in Oklahoma City for 3 days. And at the end of the 3 days, I had done everything you could do in that town.
You needed to go to the movies.
I'm like, what do you do now?
movie.
That makes me feel good, though, that there's still areas here in the U.S. where the movies are going to the theater is still a big deal. I love the movies.
Yeah, I realize, and look, and I think a big part of it's just in Palm Beach County. We're in a weird place where they just tore down our main theater in West Palm Beach, and you don't have a theater now in West Palm Beach, really, that I can think of. You got to go to Gardens or you got to go to Royal Palm or to another smaller town to do that. You know, I know Boca's still got their theaters. But, yeah, the theaters aren't as prevalent in South Florida as what they are in the Midwest. In Oklahoma City, a ton of theaters and massive theaters.
I feel like Palm Beach County's built on some kind of burial ground. All kind of weird shit's always going on in this county.
Yeah, there is. Well, it's a unique makeup that we have. And it all makes sense. I mean, when you got the climate the way you do, why are you going to be sitting at... I would be depressed if I went and sat in a dark theater and it's 74 and totally sunny outside.
And you have so many options outside. There's so many fun things you can do on any given day in West Palm Beach.
I don't think if you were visiting South Florida, I don't think that you could run out of stuff in a month or two. I really think I think every day you could find something new. I mean, you think about all the gator things you can go to. I've never even done those. Airboat tours and that kind of stuff. Have you ever done that, Virginia?
I want to, but yeah, there's so many fun things that we haven't even experienced.
Yeah, we've been here 26 years and still haven't even gotten to it.
I want to hold a turtle. I haven't done that. Let's go do that. I think you can hold turtles somewhere.
You
right?
can. I held a turtle because I helped it across the road.
Aww.
That's good.
I stopped and I ran out there and risked my life for a turtle, and I almost got hit. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It's like, what, you dumbass.
But that turtle, though.
There's way too busy of a road.
Where's my shell?
Yeah, I didn't have one. Turtle makes it fun. I lose a leg. Yeah, is it worth it? All right, well, there you go. Good to be back here in the very warm temperatures of South Florida. Thank you all for the email. Send them to us, mail at kvjshow.com. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.